Well, you guys, I finished the challenge. 30 days with Kiara LaShae, the Tabata challenge, and my results, as you can see. Yes. I wasn't really worried about pounds, so I actually went down to dress size, which is amazing. I am now back into a medium. Yes. So in October, she's going to be doing another challenge where you can sign up. So hit the link down below and sign up for the next Kiara LaShae Trap and Tone Challenge in October. And don't forget about the tea, y'all. The tea really aided in the look, okay? If you think it happened in a month, all because I was working out, no. It's also because of the tea. Sometimes I still ate pizza. But yay! Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for Tamar Get Your Life. Okay, but before we get into Tamar Get Your Life, I'm gonna give y'all like a little update on marriage boot camp. Okay, I watched the episode, which was like the behind the scenes situation, and it wasn't a lot that we didn't already know. I feel like I already talked to y'all about how Tahiri did apologize to Vado. They did not show it, but she did apologize to him. They actually talked like, right after, and she was like, I think he'll be fine. We can just talk in the morning. She did not want him to leave, and she was not lobbying for him to leave, which is why I don't think she ever played the victim. And I think a lot of y'all have this idea of Tahiri that she is like throwing apples and then crying when somebody does something to her. And I don't feel like that's what's taking place at all. I feel like, she's just like a lot of young women like her. When people have been violent towards us, we then become violent. But I still feel as if as a man, you have more responsibility to control yourself because you can do more damage to her than she can do to you. I also feel like waiting 40 minutes to choke her out in front of a room full of people shows that you don't have control of yourself. Therefore, you have a deeper issue that you need to fix. Okay. Now, Vado took the test, the lie detector test, and the question was he sincerely sorry about what he did? And deception was indicated. Deception was indicated. He was not really sorry. And do you know why he wasn't really sorry? It is because he felt validated in what he did. He felt like she deserved it. Just like a lot of y'all feel like he deserved it. That is a problem. That is a problem. That is not the way you should feel like she deserved that because she threw apples at him. It would have been better if he would have threw apples back at her. Even if it would have left a bruise on her ass, it would have been better than you waiting 40 minutes later to choke her out in front of a room full of people. Because it shows that that's not the first time you didn't put your hands on somebody because you didn't think for a second, I'm in a room full of people, maybe I shouldn't do that. I would just like for y'all to put yourself in her shoes and ask yourself, how would you feel if you and your old man got into a little tiff? It ain't nothing too big. You slapped him, you pushed him, whatever. And he wait until 40 minutes later and y'all in front of other people to choke you out. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm sorry, but I will never see it that way. I know a lot of y'all get upset about that, but I don't really care. But I feel like, the fact that his lie detector test came back not true for him really being sorry, I think that said a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think that said a lot about him feeling validated in what he did and not really being sorry. And that is what we saw from him even days later when he felt justified in his actions. That's a problem that you feel like that. And like Judge Lynn said, it's a step. It's like the first couple of steps to you in a relationship with somebody who's doing stuff like that to you over nothing. You know what I mean? If you feel like, putting your hands on her is validated by anything, then all of a sudden, all of the little things become validation as well. Well, you made me mad. Well, you didn't fix the food the way I wanted. Well, you threw something down on the floor. You caught an attitude with me, so now I can yoke you up. That's the issue. That's the problem, y'all. Vado need help. Vado needs to get his shit together. Just like Tahiri needs to get hers together, he needs to get his together. But he is a man, and he needs to control himself. Okay? Yes, Tahiri should have not thrown the apples at him. I wouldn't have threw apples at my dude's face neither. But if I did, I damn sure would not expect him to choke me up in front of nobody after. Sorry, I just wouldn't. Okay? If you think that's unfair, the world is unfair. There are double standards for women all over the place. There should be double standards for men as well. Okay? Women can't sleep around the way men do and still keep the same respect. Okay? Especially black women. All right, we can't be Kim Kardashian and them. Y'all see what happened to Superhead, okay? The difference You do the same thing, and you see how it has different results depending on your skin tone and all of this and that. Okay. My point still remains that women are looked at as less than when they get out here and do stuff like that. So for me, when it comes to putting your hands on people, I feel like that about men. It is a double standard. You shouldn't be able to put your hands on a woman in the way that she put her hands on you, because you do more damage. Double standards are all over the place. And if we're going to live up to, I can't be out here giving my cooch up to everybody, I can't be a receptacle for everybody like that, then we should also live by the double standard that you stronger, so you need to control yourself. Like, that's the world I live in. Okay, so on top of that, new information, not only was Willie and Shonda pregnant, Devon and Hazel pregnant, and she said he put a ring on it, but I don't know if that means they actually legally got married or they were just engaged. She was calling him her husband during the Masika and, you know, Hazel sit down conversation, which was really nothing. I don't even know why y'all wanted me to talk about that. There's nothing really to talk about. Masika is insane. Okay, but we'll get to that in a second, because I'm going to talk about that too. And then I'm going to get to Tamar and Get Your Life. And then next week, Tamar Get Your Life will be just by itself. But I decided to add this in since it, you know, came on right before this show. And y'all wanted me to talk about Masika and Hazel anyway. Okay, so Tony and Ricardo are pregnant as well. Yes, Tony has Corrupt's baby in her womb. Ain't that magical how a man could be basically, you know, eating himself inside out with alcohol, but still have strong enough sperm to get a bitch pregnant? Child. Okay, they just came out of the most stressful situation and somehow still ended up pregnant. I cannot. Okay, but either way, he looked like he don't want to be there, and she looked like she happy to have another reason to keep him there. Okay, that's what it looked like to me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let them people be wherever they at. Phaedra tried to fake the funk like her and Medina still talk, but we didn't see Medina, and they didn't say anything about all of the, you know, stuff that came out about him lying about his mom and all of that. As far as we understood from the show, he still has the crystal clean reputation, seemingly from the show. Nobody said anything about him being a liar and a perpetrator and all of that. Okay, but yeah, so that's from there. Let's talk about Masika and Hazel right quick. So y'all, let's talk about a few things. They met up so that they can get a check off of a decades old fight. Okay, they have been arguing about the same shit for the past decade. Okay, since Love and Hip Hop Hollywood started, which was like 2013, 2012, something like that. I can't remember. Okay, either way, within the past 10 years, probably more than about 7-8 years, we've been arguing about the same thing between the two of them. Now, let's be very clear. I don't really like Hazel, because I feel like Hazel is, first of all, a colorist. She has really bad self-esteem, and it plays itself out in the way she treats other women. And she doesn't have a lot of confidence in herself sometimes, okay? And I really don't like the way that showcases in the way she treats people. I just don't. I also think she's messy, and she hides her hand. Somebody that's always kind of causing issue and drama for no damn reason other than the fact that they want attention. You know what I'm saying? She's one of those people. So I'm not like a fan of Hazel's for a whole bunch of reasons. But when I was watching that first season, we was rooting for Hazel, because Hazel can sometimes be like a sensitive, likable person. But she can also be an asshole. And she can be an unjustifiable asshole sometimes. Okay? So I just want to get that clear before we start, okay? Masika is obviously somebody who should have been born in better circumstances, because maybe they would have used their mouth to be a lawyer and help other black people, you know, help get them out of jail, been a good, you know, somebody's good lawyer with that good mouthpiece. But that's not what she decided to do. She decided to have a baby out of spite for One-Eyed Willie, so that she can continue to make drama on social media and on reality shows, all because she fought with Alexis Guy and had a baby with Fetty Wap. And that was only after she started dating Young Berg, whatever his name is. Y'all know I don't like him. He's another one of those, you know, women abusing, male chauvinistic, toxic, you know, like, just don't like him at all.
He also thinks he's pretty, you know, light skin, light eyes, thinks he's pretty, you know, that same type of mentality that I think Hazel's mom has instilled in her, that she's light and she has light eyes, so that must mean that she's prettier. Like, it's such foolishness. But yes, okay, these two people do not like each other because they started out as friends, okay, or as associates, whatever. Hazel feels like she got Masika on Love and Hip Hop, and then Masika turned around and stole a song from her, got with Berg after Berg treated Hazel like trash, which he did. And then she turns around to this day, like even when she was getting that terrible wig, you know, laid on her head, child, to me it looked like she didn't have no edges under that wig, okay? But either way, she puts on this terrible blonde wig and this cheap ass faux Versace dress, you know. I was just like, you look real cocaine girlfriend-ish. Like, you look real cheap cocaine girlfriend-ish. You look like you on the way out and a new girl is on the way in, and you just about to try to collect your child support. Like, she really looked, you know what I'm saying, not nearly as good as she could look. I think Masika is a beautiful girl, and I think her terrible attitude, disposition, and self-entitlement because of her looks is why she really has nothing else to offer anybody. I'm sorry, but when you rely all on your looks and scamming and doing illegal shit, and you don't really have nothing else to offer anybody. Masika should have went to law school, y'all. Masika missed her calling. She should have been somebody's lawyer because she know how to run her fucking mouth, okay? But anyway, she says that, you know, Hazel and Berg only slept together one time and she got with him. She don't know why she mad about that. Hazel making up beef just to have a storyline, and she talked about my child, and that's my main issue. She talked about my child. From what I understand, Hazel said that the baby wasn't Fetty Wap's baby. We know that that's not true. Fetty Wap claims that baby. Okay, like that's obviously his baby. And she says things like the little girl has a terrible role model in her mother. Okay, look who she has to look up to. But basically, I have never heard Hazel say anything about the baby. I've heard her say things about the baby's paternity and about the type of mother the baby has, which is about you and your parenting, not about the baby herself. But Masika is on bullshit. Masika wants to act like Hazel said something about her child, and she really is not. Hazel, you're also a bad example. You are she said she had a baby 8 weeks ago. So literally 2 months ago, you had a baby and you showed up to fight this dumbass broad who just lost her job and embarrassed herself. And then Masika sat up there and talked about the lady from the Rose Foundation. Y'all know what she did. She got up there on her Instagram. She was on set of Double Cross. I guess she was supposed to be like a, you know, a sex trafficking victim on the show. And she did this little video in her dressing room. If you guys don't pay them, if you don't sign up for my OnlyFans, they're not going to let me go. You know, looking all bruised from the makeup from the show. Okay. So that looked bad to people because it's like, are you really using like, you know, sex trafficking and women being abused? Are you really using that to get people to pay for your OnlyFans? Bitch, how despicable of you. Okay, so that's how we felt about the situation, correct? Then she comes out and says that the lady from the Rose Foundation was trying to work with her. The lady said, no, I wasn't, bitch. No, I wasn't, okay? Then she and the lady get on live together. She apologized to that lady. I don't feel like that lady apologized to her, but I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know. But from what I understand, that lady ain't never felt like she was wrong about anything. She felt like you was wrong and she was sorry you lost your job. But she didn't apologize to you because she wronged you in any way, Masika. And you got up on this show and acted like that lady apologized to you as if she was lying about working with you. That is not what happened. Okay? See what I mean by she should have been a lawyer? Twisting shit down, okay? Will believe a lie loud and wrong as she want to be and try to make it believable. And there's still, I've never seen Masika fans, but I'm sure I'll find some in these comments. I'm sure there'll be some of y'all. I think somebody was like bucking for her saying that Hazel was talking about her too. Look, at the end of the day, Hazel did nothing to Masika, and Masika stabbed her in the back and spat in her face basically with that Berg situation. And then went and got beat up by Berg, okay? And got off the show. And all this. So I just personally feel like Masika is full of shit to me. And I'm not a fan. So when they sat down, you get pretty much more of the same. Masika acting like she's better than Hazel. Hazel actually trying to have a genuine conversation, okay? Then Masika just pops off and wants to fight. Hazel is sitting there in a dress that's not built for her body. I honestly liked her dress better than Masika's dress because Masika just looked cheap. Hazel looked like, she was in expensive clothes that she couldn't fit. She just had a baby. I don't know why she would put herself out there like that. That dress was a terrible choice. Hazel's friend was the best part about it all. Hazel's friend was giving everybody the giggles. I mean, I was kind of annoyed with her at the beginning, but child, by the time we got to the end, I was so happy the friend was there. And I was like, I want the friend to pull Masika's wig off. I don't know who's going to pull Masika's wig off, but I cannot wait for this wig to be pulled off, okay? Because I don't like the fact that Masika keeps screaming about, you said about my daughter, bitch. Get that grown man out your throat, bitch. Swallow that, okay? How old is that? Swallow that, okay? Get that down. Calm down. And if you're not going to have a real conversation, why are we here? So you can collect the check? That's about it. That's about it. It wasn't really nothing else. And Ray J is the GOAT. Ray J is the GOAT for producing this and walking around in his mask and sweatsuit made by African designers. Okay, made by, African or black designers. Okay. And he's just putting y'all fools on while VH1 and Mona figure out what they gonna do. And I have an appreciation for him for that. Okay, so shout out to Ray J. Now that I finished talking to y'all about all of that, I'm gonna do another watch along. So I'm gonna do, the watch along for Hazel and Masika. I don't know what day it's gonna be, but hopefully it'll be Sunday or Monday, whichever day it comes out. I might try to watch it that same night, watch along, but it depends because y'all know I got a whole bunch of other videos to work on as well, so we'll see. But I do watch alongs on Instagram, so follow me at BondyBlue to do the Lovecraft Country watch alongs, which I do, and I also do, I'm gonna do the Masika and Hazel watch along. I do a lot of watch alongs on Instagram because they allow me to do it there. They allow me to do it here too, but you don't get paid on here for it, and sometimes it's just, I don't like, it's just easy. Okay, I like to keep Instagram a little relaxed and YouTube a little professional. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Tamar. All right, I know I'm late, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So Tamar and her bang meet up with Mona to talk about her doing this reality show and not running from it, because whenever things get hard, whenever Tamar don't want to deal with something, she runs. We've seen her do that many a times. Okay. She also talks about how everything has been taken from her since the divorce with Vince. Okay, Vince really handled everything with the music. She never actually worked with producers, I think, except for LaShawn Daniels. Like a lot of the times, Vince would get the record. He would bring her the record. She would record the record somewhere with Vince. Vince would give the recording of the record to the producer. They would, so she was never really out here working with people in that way because Vince was always a conduit. And it's because Vince was controlling. I don't feel like we saw it because Vince is very smart, and I think Vince is very smart about the way he presents himself on camera versus what's going on behind closed doors, okay? I think Tamar is the type of person that picks men who are somewhat controlling and abusive. It's what she's attracted to. She cries to Mona about never having any independence, and she wants Mona to help her with this and to manage her. I wasn't sure if she meant musically manage her or just manage the situation with the reality show. I wasn't sure. Either way, I feel like we're having this conversation because we know this is going to go downhill, okay? I also feel like Tamar, does this all the time where you sign up for things and when shit get hard or hot, you run. And I feel like Mona is nervous about her doing that. And a lot of people probably have said that, which is why, we have to see this conversation happening, okay? So then she goes home and talks to David about it. David is so great. Mona is so great. It's all so damn great for now, okay? Then we see Tamar meet with the dream therapist. That's what she's actually doing, is going through it, going to a dream therapist. And, there are a lot of people who, if they don't understand something, if they, haven't heard of it before, they like to be dismissive and disrespectful with people's, professions. I'm not going to do that. I actually like Goldie. That's her name, the dream, therapist, the doctor. I don't know if you would call her a doctor, but whatever. I'm a person who believes in dreams and the importance that they can sometimes have, okay? Especially because ever since Katrina, a lot of my dreams that are nightmares have been in like a water world type thing where everybody is, on boats because the world is now all water. My worst nightmare happened. So now my dreams are a continuation of that, okay? So I have a lot of the dreams I have sometimes affect me in real life. If I have a dream about something, I feel the type of way in a dream. If I felt that way strong enough, I will remember that and feel that way when I wake up. So for me, dreams are very important. So I understood this, okay? And really, I learned something from it because, you know, rich people always have access to things that regular folks don't have access to. And this is the type of thing that they, you know, have access to. Somebody who will help you understand your dreams so that you can reach your fullest potential. That is what Goldie does. I actually really like Goldie. I'm going to just tell, I can't tell y'all how much, because by the time we get to the end of this season of this show, y'all going to be able to see how much I like Goldie, because I feel like I saw some stuff in the preview that I was like, oh, I like her even more after that. But I like her vibe. I like the vibe that she gives off. She's supportive. Seems like she knows what she's doing. She's worked with a lot of famous people, including, you know, Emma Stone, Harvey Keitel, Bradley Cooper, you know, Jessica Lange. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of, you know, influential artists. While she, you know, is doing this, you know, documenting her dreams, she also has to ask herself a question every night before she goes to bed, and hopefully her dream and subconscious will answer that question for her. I'm going to try this. The thing about it, though, is you can't drink before you go to sleep. You can't smoke before you go to sleep. You know, no pills and no sex. So you have to have, you know, like, be as sober and firing on all cylinders as possible. And those things take energy from you. Alcohol, you know, ganja, as you know, Goldie said, and sex take energy from you. So it, I guess, will make your sleep deeper. So you need to have like coherent sleep, I guess. And that makes sense to me, even though I feel like I've had, you know, dreams, very, very vivid dreams a lot of the time. Probably more so, you know what? Never mind. All I'm going to say is, duly noted. I learned something. Tamar gets in the studio with Jay White. Okay, Jay White is a huge producer. First of all, I don't know, like, I hate to sound like this because you never know what somebody's life is, but I feel like Tamar does a lot of complaining for somebody with so much access. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay White produced Bodak Yellow and Savage. Okay? Just to have an understanding. Okay? Like, you know, like, he's a huge producer, and she got this man basically trying so hard to get her to produce this record. You know, somebody who people probably beg to work with, he comes to her with his setup, and she can't seem to muster up the vocals. You know what I mean? Like, I do understand what she means about getting hoarse, because and I think they mentioned something about smoking, which makes me feel like Tamar smokes, you know. And I didn't think that she did, but it would make sense if she did, because she need to. She one of them personalities that probably gets a lot out of, you know, they little nightly joint or whatever. But whatever, she don't sing in front of people. You know what I'm saying? She's under a lot of pressure. Jay White says you just need to create something for people. Give them what they don't know that they need, and work through your issues in the music. Goldie comes into the studio. Goldie is also supposed to help her work through her issues and put it in the music. That's something that she's telling her to do. Okay, so you know, which aids in the process, Goldie being there with her. Okay, so Tamar talks to her friends. All right, she got a whole bunch of guy friends, and she talks to them about David and about, you know, how he's going to feel about her not being able to have sex with him for 45 days while she goes on this dream, you know, revelation journey or whatever. And he's a hardcore Jesus believing Christian. So when she explains this to him, he says he doesn't know if that goes with his beliefs. And I think it's hilarious that a man who has not waited to marry a woman before he has sex with her wants to tell us about how he's a hardcore Christian who has a problem with someone analyzing their dreams, because that's witchcraft to analyze your dreams. But you know, that's devil stuff to analyze your dreams. But I'm upset that we're not going to be able to have sex even though we're not married. David, if you don't get the hell out of my face with that foolishness, don't you ever throw Jesus in my face because you can't have sex with a woman you're not married to. I slap the shit out of you. I'm telling y'all, men with big heads and little shoulders, they always give you issue and problems. Then Jay White comes to her, it was like her apartment, hotel, something like that. But he came to her, and I felt like she was wasting his time, because she, you know, got to go and talk to David about how hoarse she is. And I'm like, there's that dependency. You're a singer. You've been singing since before you got with this nigga. You used to sing back up for Tony Braxton. Why can't you get your ass up here and be a professional without calling him to cry on the phone to him? Like, that aggravated me that she needed to do that. I feel like that shows a dependency that you shouldn't have to have on a man. Get up there, do your business with this man, and make this damn song talking about you horse. When she actually got up there to sing, she sounded great. She probably needed to do it again, drink you some tea, and take you a deep breath and get it up from way in here. Okay, focus on them ab muscles. Tighten that shit up and try again, and open up your nose. You know what to do. Okay, but I was annoyed because I felt like when she got up and got in a booth, it sounded amazing, but she was getting in her own way the whole time, and David is helping her do it. Okay, and I'm just annoyed. Once they play it back, she doesn't like it. I was just like, child, whatever. After, Goldie brings up how she is dealing with loss, not having contact with her family. She says she feels like she's been being choked every day. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. As somebody who uses their voice to make their money, there are times when I am stressed out or I am tired, and I feel tired here. Like, it feels tighter. It feels like I can't really keep talking. There's sometimes people be like, Lyric will be asking me shit, and I'm like, please stop making me talk. Please stop asking me shit and making me talk. I don't want to keep talking. My throat is tired. I feel like I'm being choked. When she said that, I totally understood how she felt. So it's not that I feel like she isn't actually feeling the way she's feeling. I just feel like she never wants to push through because she's too busy getting in her own way. So then we see Tamar's dog humping Goldie when Goldie comes over to the house so she can talk about this dream she had about Tyler Perry. She said Tyler Perry was her boyfriend, and Tyler Perry is a billionaire, and she come over to the house and there's a woman there, so she starts flipping out thinking he cheating on her, and they get in the car and she's screaming and howling, and they going down the hill and they crash. And she has to understand that dream. So Goldie has her take some deep breaths and then ask herself, as she's asking Tyler Perry, the questions that she wants to know. And it's like in her subconscious. And I don't know if y'all have ever done this, but sometimes when I'm in a shower and I'm praying, or I'm talking to God or to my ancestors, I talk to God, but I also talk to my ancestors. I talk to my family members. I talk to my grandmother. I talk to my dad. I talk to my aunts. Especially when I feel or I think of them, I feel like they can translate for me to understand what God is sometimes telling me. And I may not get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all the same to me. To me, it's all the same. It's all coming from the same place, a place outside of myself, okay? Or deep within myself, but still outside of myself, however you want to think about it, okay? But when I do this, I sometimes hear answers to the questions that I ask, or responses. And I always feel like that's God or that's one of my family members speaking to me, because, I do it a lot. So it can be different things. Sometimes I'm talking to God. Sometimes I'm talking to my daddy. You know what I mean? That's how it happens for me. And I hear answers to my questions sometimes. So when she was doing this, I understood what was happening. You think you're making it up, but you're not, because the thought comes to your head. It's what comes to your head first when you ask the question. Okay? And when she was doing this, she said, I understand now. It wasn't the woman who was there, and she wouldn't even let him explain because she's doing the Tamar thing. But the woman wasn't somebody he was cheating with. It was an angel. It was somebody who he had gotten to help her. But because she was too busy getting in her own way, she did not receive the help. And it is a metaphor for what Tamar does in her life. Iyanla tried to help her. I think her sisters have tried to help her. So many times, people have tried to help her, and she sees them as an enemy. So therefore, she does not receive the help and gets in her own way and is a part of her own destruction. Okay? So I feel like what she learned in that scene actually mirrors her life. So I feel like Goldie is the real deal as far as I'm concerned. Now, as she's having this conversation, she starts to talk about her childhood and what it was like when all her sisters left and her parents divorced and she felt alone. And I think this is the time when something happened to her, and it's something, whatever happened to Tamar, I think Tamar was touched, and I think Tamar does not like to talk about it at all. And I think it has been something taught in her family to keep things quiet and deep inside. And so she has to get out of that. She has to be open and talk about things. So I think on one hand, you have the producers and Mona in them knowing that Tamar needs to talk about things. She needs to be more open. We need to document it. We need to get it. She said she wants to do this. Okay. There's another side of it that's enough now. Even Goldie goes to the producer. You know, it's a little white guy. I forgot his name. Michael or something like that. Whatever the producer's name was. Yeah, Michael. Goldie goes to him to say, I think it's enough with the cameras. Because Tamar goes into the bathroom to cry once she's had this realization. And when she came back out to talk and she started to talk about her family, she was like, lean back, Goldie, because this ain't for you. She looks into the camera and she was like, you know, that I like to share everything and I've shared a lot, but there are some things that ain't for y'all and this ain't for y'all. And as a person, I understand that and I respect that. And when the producer is like perfect and, you know, kind of being smart, aleck, and upset that she doesn't want to share more, I got upset. And this is where the production issue comes in. I said it's late at night. I've already said a lot. I've already said enough. That's enough. When I say that's enough, that's enough. And I don't want to hear, oh, perfect, from the fat ass producer who doesn't have to open up his wounds like this, okay, in front of everybody. All right? Because I feel like even though she signs up for it, I also sign up for it to be over when I say it's over. Okay? And so I felt defensive of Tamar in that moment when he said that perfect. I was like, motherfucker, if that girl say it's enough, it's enough. You know what I'm saying? I felt like she had already given so much of herself in that scene that if she didn't want to give any more, then I didn't feel like in that moment it was up to them to try to force her into it. And I understand why, you know, she would have issue with production after that. I heard today she begging for her job back on WeTV after everything has happened with David. So from what I understand, David said that Tamar hit him and they were in a car together. And she, you know, I've talked to y'all about this in the last live, okay? And, you know, long story short, they were on their way to mental health facility. They got into it. He said she hit him in the side of the neck and he was disoriented and all of that. She says he grabbed her and that's when she hit him because he grabbed her. Whatever happened, they got into it in the car, okay? And for him to then go and file a restraining order against her as if she was stalking him or something, I feel like that's bitch made. I feel like that was a preemptive strike. I feel like he does seem controlling on the show. You know, mad about not having sex for 45 days. I know that's tough, but jack off and shut up. It's not that serious. It's 45 days. Like, you'll be okay. As far as I'm concerned, you'll be okay. Then, you know, the way he's going to try to demonize Goldie for helping Tamar figure her shit out, that's another thing that I don't like, that I feel like I'm going to be seeing. And, yeah, y'all, the word on the curve was right about how we were going to feel about watching David and how David is really upset about how he come off on the show. And so he took that out on Tamar and made somebody who's already in a bad spot worse. Okay? But him filing that restraining order against her was some bitch shit because I feel like one altercation does not mean somebody is stalking you and you need a restraining order. It seemed unnecessary to me. Okay? And I've always felt like she was more into him than he was into her, and I didn't understand why. Because I feel like she can do better. Just saying. But anyway, y'all, that's it. It's a long video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.